Thank you for joining us this evening as we are about to conduct our annual meeting of the members. This is SVEC getting ready to start our business meeting. We are currently in the dialing out process, so if you can just give us a few moments as all of the members join us here at our annual business meeting. A couple reminders before we get started with our session this evening. We do have a charitable arm of our organization called Operation Roundup. This is to help complete our 7 cooperative principles, concern for community, and we have an open grant cycle right now. So that deadline is October 4th at 4:30. So if you're involved in a charitable organization in your community, be sure to check that out at svec.coop/community. It looks like our dialing is complete. We should have a number of members on the line with us this evening. So we will go ahead and get started with our annual meeting. Good evening and welcome to the 87th annual membership meeting of Shenandoah Valley Electric Cooperative. We really appreciate you all joining us this evening. My name is Morgan Slavin and I'm SVEC's executive assistant, and I'm going to guide us through our meeting this evening. Tonight's meeting is being recorded and will be posted on our website sometime at a later date. If you have any questions for SVEC board or staff at any time during the call tonight, you can press 0 and someone will assist you in taking your question, and we'll be answering those questions later in the program. I do want to recognize your elected board members who are with me tonight. Board Chair Bill Orndorff from Frederick County, Vice Chair Jerry Doffelmeyer from Page County, Secretary Treasurer Dr. Conrad Helsley from Shenandoah County, Brent Arbogast from Rockingham County, Steve Burkholder from Rockingham County, Larry Haddishell from Augusta County, Robbie Marchant from the city of Winchester, Suzanne Obenshane from Rockingham County, Brian Plum from Page County, and Todd Van Horn from Frederick County. Also joining us tonight are select SVEC staff and our corporate attorney, Hannah Hutman, who we will hear from later on in the program. What you may have been waiting for is the announcement of 12 winners who were randomly selected for bill credits. Each prize is for a $250 bill credit, and those winners are Amanda Altrath, Mary Bartley, Michael and Karen Bittner, Janet George, James and Mary Kinder, Jennifer Lilly, Tracy Mitchell, Russell Monger Jr., William Pace Jr., Bonnie Smith, Tom and Dawn Southerly, and Jack and Linda Stinger. Staff will follow up with each of you individually regarding your bill credit, and we want to thank all members who have participated in this democratic process. I'm now going to ask Vice Chair Jerry Doffelmeyer to provide an invocation as we begin our business meeting this evening. Jerry?
Thank you, Morgan. Will you join me in prayer? Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity for our co-op to gather together this evening. We ask you to help direct our actions and choices tonight and going forward. Lead us to make appropriate decisions on behalf of our members. Guide us to operate our organization within your will. In your Son's name we pray. Amen.
Thank you so much, Jerry. At this time, I'm going to introduce SVEC Board Chair Bill Orndorff to call the meeting to order.
Thank you, Morgan. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to serve. My name is Bill Orndorff, and it's my pleasure to serve as the chairman of the Board of Directors here at Shenandoah Valley Electric Cooperative, and welcome again to the meeting tonight. To help move the meeting along, as chair, I'll accept motions and seconds on our usual routine matters from board members right here in our building because I can see them. Everyone attending by telephone can vote on the motion by pressing 1 on the phone for yes and pressing 2 on your phone at the appropriate time for no. I now call this 87th meeting of the Shenandoah Valley Electric Cooperative to order. I call on Dr. Conrad Helsley, our Secretary-Treasurer, to verify the meeting's quorum.
Thank you, Chairman Orndorff. The total cooperative membership as of May the 25th, 2023 was 81,375 members. Article 3, Section 4 of the Cooperative's bylaws states that 2.5% of the total number of members present in person or represented by proxy shall constitute a quorum for the annual membership meeting. Also, under state law, members casting ballots online are deemed present. This 2.5% of the membership at the applicable time means 2,034 members need to be present or represented by proxy. As of 4:30 p.m., August the 1st, 2023, which was the cutoff for the annual meeting registration, the number of members registered or voting online for director elections was 787, and the total members represented by valid proxy was 3,319. As a result, 4,106 members are recognized as attending this meeting, and therefore a quorum exists. Survey and Ballot Systems is the company that has handled the logistics for the meeting, including the meeting notice, proxies, and balloting. The cooperative has in its possession a certificate from that company stating that on June 20th, 2023 of this year, it mailed the official notice of the 2023 annual members meeting as required by Section 4 of Article 3 of the cooperative bylaws. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Helsley. I will now call for the reading of the full notice of the meeting that was included in the materials mailed to all members as Dr. Helsley described, or is there a motion to dispense with the reading of the notice? So moved. Do I hear a second? Second. All right, I have a motion and a second here in the headquarters with me. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all members that are in favor of this motion signify by pressing number 1 on your phone. All members are opposed, press 2. We're good. I can view the results of telephone voting on a monitor in the room, and the motion carries. Thank you all. I will now call for the reading and approval of the minutes of the 2022 annual meeting. A copy of these minutes have been available on our website for several weeks. Is there a motion to dispense of the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented? Is there a second? I have a motion and a second here in the boardroom with me. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of this motion signify by pressing 1 on your phones. If you are opposed, press 2. Again, I can view the results on the screen in our meeting room, and the motion carries. As a reminder, folks, if you have a question for the SVEC board or staff, please press 0 at any time during this telephone meeting, and someone will assist you. So on behalf of your member-elected board of directors, good evening and welcome to everyone again. My name is Bill Warndorf, and I am the current chair of the Shenandoah Valley Electric Cooperative Board of Directors. I'm glad to have each one of you all listening with us tonight. SVEC, like other cooperatives, relies on the democracy as its root of governance and operations. That's why we so value active participation from all of you in these meetings. Not only does SVEC's membership choose the leadership by the elected board of directors, but it also makes a large impact on the decision-making for the co-op. Your votes are important to us, and they help direct actions and everyday functions and issues at large that affect the future of the cooperative. SVEC exists to serve our members and always have. We continuously strive to provide reliable and safe and electric service at the best value possible. So we thank you again for participating with us this evening. Again, if you have any questions, please press 0 at any time. At this time, I'd like to turn our meeting over to President and CEO Greg Rogers.
Thank you, Bill. I'm again thankful for the opportunity to address our membership and recognize another year in the life of our 87-year-old organization. Within that, I'm most appreciative of having a group of employees who are not only dedicated to their jobs, but also focused on being safe as they perform the wide range of tasks at hand. And there's a lot of tasks getting done at your cooperative. Tonight, I feel it's important to mention a few projects that touch most, if not all, of our members. First, we're in the process of upgrading our metering infrastructure. With the new meters, the co-op will have the best capability we've had to measure the demand for electricity in our system. SVEC's advanced metering infrastructure will introduce the next level in managing and using data related to grid pressure and operation. It will better inform members of their electric consumption habits and lead the co-op towards building an even more robust, reliable distribution system. Among the benefits, the meters will help SVEC control rising operating expenses and increase staff efficiency, assisting with outage response and improving information available to help members make informed decisions about their electric use. We expect to replace about 48,000 meters this year. Members are notified through a postcard mailing that a visit from our contractor to switch meters is forthcoming. This work is a strategic complementary piece to SVEC's construction of a fiber utility network connecting substations that will continue to improve grid reliability and security. SVEC is still on track to complete the planned construction of 11 segments, or approximately 80 miles, in 2023. The cable that we are installing consists of multiple fibers. SVEC will only need a portion of those fibers to serve our electric needs. The extra fibers can be leased to internet service providers, some of which we have ongoing conversations with throughout our territory. Finally, we are nearly ready to turn the switch at our community solar facility, which is located just outside of Mount Jackson. Solar is a great resource of renewable energy. However, many can't access solar due to the things like space requirements, upfront costs, or housing limitations. SVEC's community solar project will offer our members access to solar and the ability to reduce their carbon footprint. We will be offering subscriptions to solar blocks in the coming months. So if you are interested, please be sure you are following SVEC on social media, reading our Cooperative Living magazine, and visiting our website frequently for the latest updates. Thank you again for taking part in the annual meeting. And as stated before, if you have any questions for us, please press 0. And now we will hear from our attorney, Hannah Hutman, for a discussion on SVEC bylaws.
Thank you, Greg. The bylaws are the internal rules under which a cooperative, such as SVEC, operates. They tell who can be a member and the rights and duties of members, and they set out the logistics for the annual meeting of members. The bylaws also cover the election process for the board of directors and how board members govern and the CEO operates the cooperative. Another key topic addressed in the bylaws is the manner in which capital credits are handled. The board of directors modifies the bylaws from time to time as the need arises and seeks ratification of the recent changes at the annual meeting. In recent years, there have been significant amendments to the bylaws that were intended to increase participation of cooperative members in the election of directors by providing for mail-in and online voting and telephonic attendance at the annual meeting. In addition, prior to the 2022 annual meeting, the bylaws were amended to implement changes in the election of directors that will ultimately result in the board being reduced from 10 to 9 members, with the composition of the board being spread evenly among the service territory, and each director serving a 3-year term. Unlike the past few years, this last year, the board of directors did not make any amendments to the bylaws. Therefore, the bylaws remain the same as they were at the 2022 annual meeting, and there are no amendments for which to seek ratification this evening. As always, a copy of the bylaws is available on the Cooperative's website. I'll now turn things back over to Mr. Orndorff.
Thank you, Hannah. At this time, is there any new business to come before the membership? Hearing none in the room, I'd like to turn it over to Morgan now to moderate any new business from the members or facilitate any questions you may have at this time.
Wonderful. Thank you, Bill. Really appreciate that. Again, if you have any questions at this time, we've got your SVEC Board of Directors, we've got our President and CEO and other key senior staff members here, so please press 0 at any time during this meeting and someone can assist you with getting your question in the queue. And we do have one question in the queue so far. We've got Dave on the line here, and he with a question about hot water heaters. Dave, would you like to go ahead with your question?
Yes, my question is what precipitated the decision to abandon the load shedding program where the residential hot water heaters were turned off during periods of high load?
Thank you, Dave, for that question. That's a great question. As we transition over time to different billing constructs that we see on the market that provides power, the energy portion of our power out there, then there's different components to that. And we were at a spot where we needed to invest to be able to continue to do that. And the indicators that we look for weren't as prevalent for the investment we would need to make in that. We still highly use that system as it exists today throughout the summer months for the PJM High 5, the summer loading. It still is accessible for that. So we continue to use that system for that, but the investment that we would need to make ongoing continues to be evaluated, and we look for ways for our members to do that. Right now, Beat the Peak provides a very good way for us to notify members of when they might be able to reduce load on a larger scale and at a place where it would be affordable for the membership. So it's a good question. It's been a great program over the years, and we continue to evaluate whether that or any other load shedding programs would contribute to lowering our members' bills. So we have not abandoned that. It is just a continually ongoing process as the market evolves, and we make sure that we keep in line with the cost that we put out there for our membership and the return that cost gives us in reducing your electric bill. Great question, though.
That was a great question, Dave. And any member out there, Greg mentioned the Beat the Peak program. If you are interested in enrolling in that program, you can go to svec.coop/energy solutions and enroll in that program. You'll get notified of certain times where you can reduce your energy usage and overall help us with our load control program. We've got another question in the queue from Barbara. She has a question about fiber here in Rockingham County. Barbara, would you like to go ahead with your question?
Yes, I was just curious if the new lines you're putting in, anything will be in Rockingham County, and if you can disclose what possible internet companies you're potentially working with.
Yes, thanks, Barbara, for that question. And yes, we do have our backbone, which is being installed for our electric facilities network, communication to our substations and other distribution equipment we have out there. It is going in every county that we have service in. So Rockingham is a big player in that, and there will be backbone service for our electric use in those areas. We're making that available to any ISP that wants to use the extra fibers, as I mentioned in our comments, and there have been a multitude of those around. There are some that are coming through some of the grant programs coming through the state and the federal, but there's also existing ISPs out there all across our system that have existed. So what I may do is have somebody follow up with you to maybe discuss some of those. I have a hard time rattling them off this evening, but I believe there are pretty much everybody that's out there now serving has the ability to either use us or continue to provide service through their direct company. So I would like to do it that way, but we are in every county. We will have a substantial backbone presence for our electric service in Rockingham County.
Thanks for that question, Barbara. And for any other folks that might have questions about our fiber project, you can find that on our community tab of the website under fiber project. There's no other questions at the queue at this time, but I'm going to give you guys just a couple minutes in case there are other burning questions out there about anything that has to do with your electric service. We do ask that you don't ask any personal account-related questions, but if you do have a question for your board or senior staff here, please press 0. They can get you in the queue. And while we're waiting to see if there's any other last questions, school's about to start, and our communication and public relations team here at the co-op would be happy to come out and do either career days or safety demos with local schools up and down the Shenandoah Valley. If that's a program that you would be interested in, feel free to reach out to our communications team here at SVEC. You can email them at svecpr@svec.coop. At this time, I do not see any other questions in the queue, so we're going to say thank you to all the members who called in with those questions this evening. At this time, I'm going to turn the floor over to our attorney, Ms. Hutman, to give us our election results.
Thank you, Morgan. Balloting and director elections this year opened on June 21st and ran through this past Monday, July 31st. I received the official ballot report yesterday from Survey and Ballot Systems, the company that's handled the balloting logistics. This year, our cooperative members have chosen as directors from the Central Region, Jerry Doffelmeyer, from the Northern Region, Bill Orndorff, from Shenandoah County, Dr. Conrad Helsley, and from the City of Winchester, Robbie Marchant. Each of these directors are incumbent directors who sought re-election to the board. It's important to note that there were no co-op members who submitted the required petition to run against these incumbents. I would also like to thank the Qualifications Committee for their work again this year. Those members were Tammy Canfield, Jeff Gurmroth, and James Winkfield. Mr. Orndorff?
Did you say no? Thank you, Hannah. We thank you all for spending the evening with us now, and I now ask for a motion to adjourn this annual meeting membership. Motion and I got a motion and a second here in the room with me. All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please signify by pressing 1 on your phone for yes or 2 for no. I can see on the screen that we have the ayes, so the motion is passed and the meeting is adjourned. So I thank you again, and on behalf of the co-op, we wish you and your family a safe and healthy rest of the year. Meeting is adjourned.